31% battery. I have no idea how long that's going to last. This is a Ren Fair ornamental ritual dagger that I've had for, I don't know, 6 or so years. Sat in a drawer, just being a little personal letter opener tchotchke that I had forever that I just thought was cool. Boy howdy. I never knew exactly how valuable it was going to prove. Personally to me, this is a magic item. Now, I don't exactly know if it will have a direct impact on anyone else. I would say this is more like, soulbound to me. If you're familiar with video games, MMOs, World of Warcraft, shit like that. However, my ritual dagger has a name. Try and do this without, laughing or smirking. Still so wild. Indiglowing. Infused and enchanted with the chakra energy of the crown, third eye, and throat. And believe it or not, it evolved recently. Legit, unintentionally by me, just randomly happened after a night of meditating and training and interacting and having a little micro adventure. It literally, they evolved. I see the physical object, but when I'm meditating, I see something completely different. I don't know if that's simply just an extension of myself, some kind of, broadcasted out piece of my psyche. Doesn't really matter to me. It is a foci that helps me get the work done, do the training I need to do, move forward, progress in my psychic magical development. The bracelet of Tiger's Eye, it's called Navi. Hey, listen! It doesn't, though. It's not the fucking fairy thing. Originally, I had only intended to literally create just a baseline magic item, just something that gave equivalency of stat points, increase experience rate, whatever. That's the methodology. That's the visualization and magic system that's been pre-established for decades, from video games to tabletop RPGs, all that stuff. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You literally don't. You can use any literal system that's already in existence. Doesn't matter. You just have to believe in it. It has to be important to you, and you have to practice with it. But it will work. I want to get to the point where I can literally have an enchantment on a physical, real-based item, this third-dimension reality-based item, that you can hold, touch, and interact with, that has various magical influence on the wielder, the owner, the bearer. I'm strongly confident that I can create physical items with permanent effect. I need help to produce a few various, experimental items that have, intended benefits and impacts that I don't tell the volunteer, that will simply hold it with them, keep it on them, and essentially, accept who's in some way developed psychically or magically to concretely understand and had some experience in the astral, concretely be participant and accepting of the magical reality in which we live, because again, belief matters, because any disbelief will overwhelmingly negate, reduce, or muddy the effects of anything anyone wants to do, let alone this, which I want to accomplish. And essentially, track each and everything of what the intended impact is supposed to have on a person while they, have it on themselves. And then over the course of, a few weeks, literally have the person take a number of, surveys and journaling and go back to just their daily life. Not give them a single hint that could potentially prime them or muddy the data. and have them take a baseline survey at the beginning of just their kind of like their stats, so to speak. Are they clumsy? Are they very like athletic? Are they heavily anxious? Do they have any certain malady or hindrance? So that way, over a period of time, if they note any identifiable change in their life, without me giving them any information whatsoever, just them, just believing that this is doing something. I mean, that alone is going to be a little hard to some degree separate their own personal influence to themselves because of their belief in the object, that they will then create their own kind of like sub-impact, some sub-effect. I'm unequivocally sure that's going to happen. And that's why I want to make sure I don't prime anybody. And just seriously, here, go hold on to this. Let's repeat, like every day, do a journal, continue your training, continue whatever. And then over the course of, a month, maybe two, come back, and really have a breakdown. Did you try any of this stuff? Did you try any of that stuff? And then kind of reveal to that person what the intended actual impact should have been. And then have them reflect upon all that experience. And then at that point, under the new context of what should have been influencing or providing some benefit or some kind of impact to them. And have that, like preferably, on video, especially these kind of like interactive sessions, either through Zoom or whatnot, if they're like somewhere off and who knows where across the country, because I don't expect you to be local. It'd be great, if you're in San Diego and I just hand you a thing and I have to mail it out, especially with the growing situation with the disasters